was wondering, I feel very fluid. I know I'm more feminine, but I feel my masculine capacity is very strong.
Great.
But I find I'm oscillating back and forth, not really knowing which one to be in. Do you have any thought about a practice of getting in touch with your natural oscillation of masculine and feminine?
Is that question from her masculine or her feminine? Masculine. Just, I'm pointing, no value judgment. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm very masculine.
You're not. You have masculine capacity and probably masculine habit. Yeah? And there's no, so here's the, I mean, look, I'm just giving you my opinion. Take what you like and leave the rest. We all need a highly developed masculine and feminine because the world needs both, right? In the last 40 to 50 years, men have, come out of the 50s and 60s and spent a lot of time developing their own feminine, their capacity to feel. A lot of modern men's work is about connecting to the feminine in a man's body. Do you guys get that? So it's a lot about revealing vulnerability and the mask of masculinity, and a lot of modern men's work is around this idea of revealing your feminine, like getting in touch with your feminine as a man. So it's healthy that we're all that we're coming, and it's really healthy that you have masculine capacity and you probably could use it to succeed in the world, yes? Yeah.
But I'm exhausted a lot. Like
when
you said about the guys, they feel like, oh, another thing. That's actually on my brain all the time.
Right. Right. And do you run your own business, or do you run your own business?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So if you're running your own business, you're basically in your masculine, holding space for, right? It's painful for someone whose natural essence is feminine to be in a masculine body all day long.
But isn't it painful for them? Because you mentioned that the task thing was painful.
It's less painful it's painful for them to have any tasks and duties that require their attention. Yes, and I'm exaggerating a little bit to make a point, but if you're feminine, it's worse. If you're feminine and you have to stand in a law room all day long, or on a surgery, or hold space for an entire company, or do that, it can be very painful on a feminine body. Not all of them. Not all of them. Some love it, right? A lot of them don't. And it really depends on your personal preference. So to get to your question, the moment you should cultivate both fully, and then let the moment bring forth the gift. Right? So let's say you're working all day, and you have to hold a lot, and you have to set goals, and you have to clearly kick ass, and so you literally have to, be directional. Right? Directional is the masculine. Okay? But then you get home and you don't want to make another fucking decision. Do you guys ever feel that way? Like, we don't want to make another decision. We feel this way too all the time, but it's just our karmic lot in life. So I don't want to make another decision. So that would be the moment where you transition in some beautiful ritual that feels good to you, bath, movement, something that feels good to you, and you transition into your feminine, and you offer that as a gift because the moment would be brighter. You know what I'm saying? So there's not really there's not like a playbook of, in work situations, the masculine is more often called for, unless your work tends to be very intuitive or movement-based or flow-based. And relationship usually, at least for a feminine partner, requires, if you want to have a polarized relationship, unless you want to be in the masculine in your relationship.
I would really want someone who's a lot like me, where there's like, basically, it's like, I'm almost half, but not.
Right,
half.
so you want somebody who's.
I like that.
Great. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. But in the relationship, do you have a preference of being led beautifully? Like, you don't have to make decisions in the intimacy, or do you like to make the decisions in the intimacy? Like, This is how I want us to have sex.
I like it back and forth.
Okay, great. Then yes, then you can absolutely cultivate both. Now, even if you want it back and forth, let's say you have a partner who's matched to you. There's probably going to be some nights where you want to fully surrender and let him penetrate your heart and fuck you to God, yes? Or her, right? And then there'll probably be nights when you're in charge and he'll want to surrender his heart and let you lead and penetrate him, yeah? Those moments will all dictate which practices are called for.
And it's just being into it, it's building your sense of your own intuition about how to oscillate and what feels.
Yeah, well, when you say intuition, the way I would describe the intuition piece is to be connected to the pulse of the universe, right? Because what we consider our intuition, oftentimes, what we consider our authentic self or our intuition, oftentimes tends to be a habitual response to the world, not necessarily the pulse that's wanting to come through.
So being with the sacred body beyond thought, like practicing being in that space.
Yeah, your body will know. And also your masculine body will know. So ultimately, great practice, and you know, you're going to get here, but again, we're playing with the poles to start. The part of you that is infinite consciousness, when I said feel the part of you that's never changed, could you feel that when we did the breath work? Okay. So your body took a certain shape with that, right? There was a certain relaxation. That's what I would call, my teacher would call, your sacred masculine. So the movements that come from that place of I've never changed and I am consciousness, those are your masculine. Right? The feminine piece of you is this I am love and I want to give and share love. Ultimately, the best practice is those things perfectly entwined, working moment to moment. The reason why we're in a situation, you know, the reason why I have a job is that there are so many men who don't know how to move from consciousness, and there are so many women, feminine practitioners, that don't know how to surrender as love and move as love, right? And so learning both of those things separately and then tying them together tends to be the sexual yogic work. So you'll learn both. And if you want, you can practice in the masculine this if you want to cultivate that. Any of you can, by the way. If you're like, fuck this, I want to be in the masculine, hold space. Oh, it'll be painful. But you certainly can do it and work with that. Yeah, just let us know. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.